Hello dear students. Today I am going to introduce a new topic of English grammar, lesson 26, verbs active and passive voice. Dear children, before you start this topic, it is very important to recapitulate the verbs and the tenses. If you are not able to identify the verb of a sentence, or if you are not able to identify the type of the tenses, then this topic will become very difficult for you. So before you start, please watch all the videos of verbs and tenses that we have given to you. So dear children, what is a voice? Voice is a quality of the verb that indicates whether the subject acts or is acted upon. So you can say a voice is being divided into two. When a thing does an action, then that thing is called the subject of the action. Okay? And when a thing receives an action, then it is called the object of an action. So we can say subject is a doer of the action and object is the receiver of the action. So please remember these two things, subject and object. So on the basis of this subject and object, the voice is divided into two, active voice and passive voice. Active voice concentrates on the subject, what the subject does, on the subject. And passive voice, the focus is on the action done. Okay? So if the sentence is focusing on the subject, then that sentence is said to be in active voice. But when the sentence is concentrating on the action done and not the subject, then such type of sentence is called passive voice. Let's go in detail. Active voice. Active voice is used to show that the subject of the sentence is performing or causing the action. That is, subject is the doer of the action. So, how to identify, how to identify whether sentence is in active or passive voice? So, only remember when the subject is placed before the verb. Let's look at this example. Mihir repaired the scooter. Now in this sentence, the action is repaired. Who repaired? Mihir. So Mihir is the doer of the action. And what did he repair? The scooter. The scooter is the object. Mihir, subject. Repaired, verb. The scooter, object. So when you get the subject before the action, then the sentence is called active voice. Okay? Passive voice. Passive voice is used when the subject is a recipient of the action. Let's look the example. The scooter was repaired by Mihir. Who repaired? Mihir. What was repaired? The scooter. Now look at this sentence. The subject is placed after the verb and the object is the beginner of the sentence. Yes? So when you get the object in the before the verb, then such type of sentence is called passive voice. So remember, dear children, when you get the subject before the verb, then it is active voice. When you get object before the verb, then it is a passive voice. Okay? Look at the example. Mihir repaired the scooter. So Mihir is a subject. Repaired is a verb which is placed. So subject is placed before the verb. So it is an active voice. The scooter was repaired by Mihir. So the scooter is the object which is placed before the verb. So it becomes a passive voice. Now in passive voice, sometimes we can remove the subject. because for us the subject is not important, the action is important. So sometimes in passive voice subject is deleted, it is not there. Okay, so the formula for active voice: subject plus action plus object. Always remember, active voice, the formula is subject plus action plus object. S plus V plus O. Mihir repaired the scooter. Formula for passive voice is object plus action plus subject. O plus helping verb plus V3 plus by plus S. Now dear children, in passive voice, the verb, the action changes into past participle form. You have already learned past participle form of the verb in tenses. Yes. So passive voice always have a past participle form of the verb. So we call it as V3. V1 means present form, V2 means past form, V3 means past participle form of the verb. And passive voice will always have a helping verb, is, are, am, was, were, has, have, had, and we also add a word by before the subject. So remember this formula: O plus HV plus V3 plus by subject. The scooter was repaired by Mihir. If you remember these two formulas, then this topic will become very, very easy for you. So please copy it down in your grammar notebook. So let's identify the voice. Here I have given you 5 sentences. Before you solve or before you identify the voice, identify the subject, identify the object, identify the verb. When you identify these 3 things, then remember the formula. If the subject comes before the verb, then it is an active voice. If the object comes before the verb, then it is a passive voice. First sentence: some volunteers were managing the traffic. Who were managing? Who is doing the action? Some volunteers. So some volunteers becomes the subject. Were managing is the verb. And what they were managing? The traffic. So the traffic is the receiver of the action. So the traffic is the object. So when you get the subject before the verb, then it is? Yes, it is an active voice. Second sentence: apples will be grown in this orchard. Who will grow? Who will grow? Not given. Yes. What will be grown? The apple. So we can say apple is the object, will be grown is a verb, the action of the sentence. Who will grow is not given in the sentence. When I was explaining passive voice, I told you passive voice sometimes omits the subject. So in this sentence we do not have a subject. Okay, so this becomes a passive voice. The lectures have been attended by all the students. Who attended? The students. Yes. And okay, so the student becomes a subject, has been attended is your verb, the lecture is your object. So here object is coming before the verb, so it is a passive voice. I need some help. Who need? I. What need? Help. Correct? Yes. So I is your subject, need is your verb, help is your object. So it is active voice. My purse was stolen. Who stole? A thief stole, or anybody has stolen. So the subject is not here, it is omitted. What was stolen? The purse. Yes, you are right. So my purse is object, was stolen verb, and it is a passive voice. So first sentence, some volunteers is a subject, so active voice. Who has grown the apple? Don't know. So it is a passive voice. The lecture has been attended by the students. By the student comes afterwards. So it is a passive voice. Who need? I need. I is the subject. So active voice. My purse was stolen. Passive voice. Now this is a rule table which I want you to copy down in your grammar notebook. Now simple tenses. Simple present. Active voice is subject plus the present form of the verb plus the object. So when you change it into passive voice, it becomes O, object plus is RM plus V3 plus by plus S. Now dear children, this topic I will explain to you in detail in the next video. I only want you to copy down this rule table in your grammar notebook. In this video, we learn about how to identify the voice, whether it is an active voice or a passive voice. In the next video, I will explain to you how to change the active voice into passive voice. Okay? So, simple present, when you get the subject in the before the verb in the passive voice, it should go after the verb. The subject will come before and the object will come before and the subject will come after the verb. So this is a formula for changing the active voice into passive voice. Here I have taken an example of the verb write. Simple present, when the verb is write or writes, it becomes is, are, am, and the past participle form of write is written. Simple past, wrote, it will change into was, were, or were written. Future tense, you will get shall or will write, it will be changed into shall or will be written. Dear children, please write the rule table in your grammar notebook. I will explain to you in detail in the next video. Hope children you have copied down. We'll meet again in the next video. Till then, try to solve the textbook exercise. Okay? Bye. Thank you.